I bought the Walter Foster Preston Blair book again today because I wanted to see how they have updated it. And so they've changed the cover a bit, put drawings of the skipping squirrel on the cover with a textured background. And inside they've got a little bit of other books that Walter Foster publishes. Then they have a table of contents, which the other editions do not have, and 2 pages of tools and materials, which the other editions don't have. So they've changed it around a great deal here. These pages here, a lot of this was on the inside cover and then page 1, and they've changed the sizes and the layouts. The squash and stretch, totally different, spread over 2 pages now. The expressions spread over 2 pages. I think this was 2 pages in the other editions, so that's about the same. And things are out of order. It's not the same page order as it used to be. These are not in the same place as they used to be. These pages are the same. I think all the hands were on 1 page originally. Birds might have been 2 pages. Character construction, that's about the same, although I thought there was another character. It was probably just the rabbit. This was the pugnacious bully characters. That's about the same. Cute character, I thought had more stuff on the page than that. Maybe it was combining this and this page. The screwball type, about the same. Goofy, I thought there were more on the Goofy page. Movement of body masses, that is starting with a stick figure and adding block masses to the stick figure to make a human body or a horse. How to make characters fly, a bouncing ball exercise, someone diving into a vat of water, frog jumping. If I was doing this book, this would be 3 different pages with more explanation for all these actions. Take a little bit different here, and characters walking and running. I thought this was all in 1 page in the other book. The 4-legged character, I thought that was all in 1 page. And then front and back views of characters walking, running away in 2 camera. The skip, the sneak, that's about the same. Breaking down the walk and the run, and the fast run, and then ending with dialogue. So there's a part here about some Preston Blair history, Walter Foster history, and the publishing company, Quarto Publishing. Maybe Quarto bought out the Walter Foster Publishing Company. And then the back cover has got some samples from inside. So that was 1 book I got. And then I bought this one as well because I wanted to know, well, what's in the big book? Because this book is square bound, a lot more pages. This has 128 pages in it. So let's see what this one's about. This is cartoon animation with Preston Blair. Cartoon animation with Preston Blair. A distinct feeling of deja vu. Here they've got a drawing of a dog. I don't remember that from issues 1 or 2 from the original Preston Blair books. Big table of contents. A letter from the editor explaining who Preston Blair was. And then it goes into these limited animation drawings. This is the cover of the 2nd animation book. I think that came out back in 1980. And then it's got a Preston Blair introduction. So let's see, chapter 1, getting started. Some of these drawings were from the big square bound book that was published 20 years ago, maybe more. And it wasn't portrait like this, it was landscape like that. So it was wider than it was tall. Whereas this one is taller than it is wide. And I don't have that big square bound. I only have animation 1 and 2. And some of these are in there, like these 2 pages are in there in book 2. This stuff is from book 2. This is how to animate. And then it goes into how to construct your characters. Remember this from book 2. A lot of good lessons here. That's from book 1. And this stuff's from book 1. So I wanted to see what did they add or take away to make this big book. And there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't recognize from the first 2 books, which is fine. Now this book, being so big and thick and heavy, this was $20 at the Blick Art Supply store. And I'm sure you can find it on the Amazon. So I'll be going through this and the other book too as I continue doing videos on Preston Blair and his great books and how you can use them to make your own animation. So a lot of this stuff here is book 2. And I guess they wanted to focus more on that than they did book 1 for whatever reason. And then it comes down to the end. This is from book 1. This is the kill the umpire, get him out of there. And then it ends with a little bit about Preston Blair. Some more books from Walter Foster. And the back cover. So, like I said, this was $21.99. Okay. And the last book I got was this one, Drawing Cartooning Book 1, Learn the Basics of Cartooning, by Jack Keely, with notes from Carson Van Austen, who's a famous Disney comic strip artist. Probably comic strip and comic book artist. So it's got the more Foster publishing stuff and then a table of contents. I don't know that this was and put out earlier and then they updated it or not. I don't see any of that, but it goes into what tools and materials you'll need to do this type of work. And then it gets into what kind of drawings do you want to do. And it tells you different types of cartoon drawings, how to draw cute characters, how to give them expressions. That's a lot of pages on cute, whereas Preston only had 2 pages of cute or 1 page. Now he goes into the zany, crazy, madcap characters and how to draw them and give them loony expressions to make them funny. And then how to draw animals. You'll need to know that sooner or later. How to draw semi-realistic, different body types, starting with stick figures. How to make cartoons out of a realistic photo. You take a photo of a dog and then you can do different styles of cartooning. How to add some clothing so that you give your characters personality based on their clothing. How to give life to different types of objects, trees, plants, appliances. Brave little toaster. And making vehicles. drawing backgrounds, houses, props inside the house. So in animation, this would be background drawing. And these things, well, these things and here, these would be called props. And there's a guy or a girl that gets hired to design and draw these items. So giving expressions, so you can make a model sheet. A model sheet consists of turnaround, front, 3/4 front, profile, back, adding details, making expression sheets, coming up with your personal style. And then it goes into who is Jack Keely, about Walter Foster. I don't see anything about Carson in here, but then the back cover. So I got this at Blick also. This was $10.95, and the Walter Foster animation book was $10.95 as well. So there's my reviews of these great books. And if you're that interested, I'm sure you can find them on the Amazon or at your local art supply store. So in the meantime, keep drawing, and once you get these, start copying them from the cover to the back cover. That's the only way you'll learn how to draw like this. And we'll see you next time.